Our students, Brian Proctor, the art teacher, back again with another heartfelt, stomach-filling, grandma-loving video. Yeah, so let's get on with this. I was staring at something, and I was staring at a picture. It was actually a statue that I have, and it's I might do an unboxing because I had it since a little after Christmas. And I was looking at it, the position, and I was saying, how would you draw that position to make it just so easy? And I started to use kind of like my eye grid line to do, and it hit me. The simplest way to do that position, and it will work for anybody. The way that I just kind of like mathematically broke it down. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you how to draw this, and it doesn't make a difference how good or your skill level is, how bad your skill level is. If you follow this, you will have this incredible position that you can do and put your character in, or dress your character, or create a character. If you have a character and you just can't really put them in a good position, this is going to be the one. So I'm not going to say spoilers, but warning, okay? Don't try to get it right the first time. You won't get it right the first time. You're gonna have to draw it, eyeball it, and then draw it again, because it's kind of a measurement thing. So, but it's simple lines, and once you get it down, you'll understand what I'm saying about measurement. So let me reach for my glasses, and then we will get this ball rolling. All right, so glasses in hand, pencil sharp, and let's go. All right, so what you're gonna do is, and this is going to work for both ways because I'm going to draw a double figure at the end, and that'll probably be my thumbnail. All right, so what you want to do is straight line. So I'll go slow for those people that might want to follow along and draw with me at the same time. It's just a few lines. Straight line, okay? Over. Almost like you're going to draw a box or a rectangle. So let's say about halfway down, you want to go like this, almost like you're drawing a reverse F, okay? This line is not going to be as long as that line, so this is going to be a shorter line. So from where this stops, you want to have this, like almost like you're drawing a triangle. If I continued, it would be a flat triangle, okay? So you have to have that. This is going to come in, this is going to go straight down. Mine might not be straight down because my paper's turned. I cannot draw straight like that. That's just me. So what you want to do here is draw another line here, and one, maybe just a little bit over, not on the edge, just like this, like that. Almost like you're drawing a reverse R, okay? So you want to put another line up here. This is your edge, you want to put it up here. All right, so you have that. Now, what you want to do is, this is the body, this is the legs, if you didn't recognize it yet. So when you want to have your center line here, you're gonna have your center this and your center there. You're gonna not straight down. I like to curve mine a little bit. So you have that. Now, going up, I don't want to curve it back. I want to go kind of a more straight, not so much like this, more over, but that's on you to do once you get this thing right. All right, so from here, you want to do your arms. Let's do this one. It's going to be a half circle. Remember, arms are just, let me get a scrap piece of paper. I don't have a scrap piece of paper. Arms are just three shapes. I only have two pieces of paper. Arms are just your circle, your oval, and your cone. I don't want to call it a triangle. I'm going to call it a cone because it's round. All right, so let's just do this one here. Let's go here. Let's just circle, and it's going to be on the inside. You may move it out later. Circle. And I'm going to make it a little easier. Let's just do this. Let's just, since you have that, let's do this. Let's just curve that line down to that right there. Curve that line down like that. Now this one, let's just say like this. Like that, okay? So from here, now way up here, let's just say this is going to be my shoulders. That's going to be a triangle. Triangle. If you're still stuck on the lines, then I'll wait for you. Triangle, triangle. All right, from at this point, you want to make like a diamond, upside down, a V, more of a V shape. And then you're going to put a circle up here. Your chin should be right here for the head. Give it the right size. Then from here and here, you're going to be up a little bit. So he's kind of got his head cocked because he's like, I'm a bad boy, I'm a bad boy. So you see where we're going with just these shapes here. Now, one thing about the legs, we're going to do something, I don't want to say different. Let's just say we're going to stop right here. We're going to put half a triangle. The inside of your foot is flat. Okay, let's just say, here's your foot. Let's just draw a foot. No, where's the big toe at? Big toe like this. Okay, so let's just say that's a foot. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, the little baby toe right here. Your ankle and your toe comes like this and down. So this is going to be flat, whereas this side is going to be at that angle. So anytime you draw feet, I just draw a triangle, have a triangle like this to make it easy. Okay, so since this foot is going to go this way, we're going to flat in there and like this. Now, this is the one thing about this. If this foot is on this part of the ground, this other foot is going to be just a little bit longer like that. It's going to be on a lower level of the ground. So if I do this, remember the inside of your foot is going to go straight up and down. The outside is going to be the part that's like a triangle. Okay, so I can make that flat, or I can center line and kind of give it a little point to it to where it's pointing that way. So like that. Now, the hands, now let's get back to the arms. Get back to the arms. So you have your oval and you have your cone. And usually I will put some curve to that cone like that. Okay, my oval and my cone like that. Now, usually when I teach drawing, I'll use the shapes. I'll use the oval, the rectangle, which is the tuna can, and then the upside down house. This is how I taught myself to draw, and this is how I teach other people to draw. And then you have your leg. But this one is for the very beginner or people that are struggling to calculate and add all these shapes together. So as I say, I use these 3 shapes and then put the arms and legs on. But this one, I'm cutting it down to make it very, very simple. Now you have your crotch here, the center of that, because when I teach, I use the upside down house. Wherever this center line goes, that's going to be the roof of your upside down house. I call it the upside down house because it is a house shape and it's just upside down. All right. So we're going to have this. This is going to be your center point right here, and you're going to bring up and then just up a little bit. This is already straight, so you want to bring this up a little bit. And this is what I'm saying about measuring, because this guy might not have enough torso in him. So from here, instead of this going here, I'll just take this right there. Now I have my body. Now, because the way he's standing, you're going to have one leg back and one leg forward. And I'm going to, instead of this being straight, it's going to just tip this down a little bit because he's leaning forward. You want the camera is kind of just above him just slightly. And if you are leaning forward, or if the camera's above you, your collarbone will not be straight. And I have my guy right here. I'm going to show you. These are the collarbones. This is collarbone. If you lean forward, you see how that's starting to take a narrow kind of a V. So this is exactly what you want to do. Anytime you draw your character and you tilt him down, this is going to become deeper V, because the torso is round. Okay, the torso is round, and this collarbone is kind of like straight, going around shape, if you understood what I'm just saying. So it couldn't be straight out like this because it go like that. So it had to be well, God knew what he was doing. He just kind of like tilted it back a little bit. So when you're looking forward, it doesn't look like it's tilted back, but when you go up, it tilts back. All right, so just remember that. So you want to tilt this guy back a little bit, and then you can adjust the legs. You have to have some crotch for the man junk, and then you can adjust the legs a little bit because this is thicker to thin. And the same with the legs. I drew the straight line because it's simple, and when we get into detail, I'll show you the legs. So we have this, and I might adjust that head a little bit because I might want his head to be looking back. You know if you didn't know, if you put your arms down to the side, your wrists are the same length as the bottom of your crotch. Now, when you put your arms out, more, then that's gonna be a little different. So if his arm is out more, I will raise that wrist up a little bit. And then you can do whatever kind of hand you want. You can do an open hand. If you do open hand, I do like this. It's kind of a triangle. That's flat already. Instead of making it flat, bring it up. Then I can do a thumb, bending the thumb like this, curve around, and then I can have my finger like that, kind of relax, and then the other finger in, and the other finger in like that. And I usually don't draw all 4 fingers. But just make sure this is curved, or you can just do a fist. This is kind of the same thing. Your thumb right here curves in. You have this, let me do this in red. Blue is good, you can see it. You have that shape, curve it, thumb goes out, this goes in, and you do that Y, that letter Y, this finger here and goes back, and then you have a fist. A lot of times I will bend that back and come up. All right, so now that's getting into detail. I'm going to do this again and show you different arm positions. So you can have multiple, just by this, you can have multiple positions of the same position. So this has got to come down. This has got to come down to this point right here because it was flat. I didn't bring it down. And then the head will still be the same. Now, you have this position right here. If you're going to dress the guy, no need for muscles. But if you're going to want to do the body, then this to this, you're going to curve this in from this point. That you have your chest like this. Well, it's going to curve in right here, and it's going to kind of curve in over here. You're going to see more of this chest because he's tilted to the side, and then this, and you know that chest comes into that. So you have this little cave tunnel, and then you can bring this in. And that's what I'm saying about do this over and over again, and then let's just do this. Let's curve this in a little bit right here at this point, and then bring it down more. Simple, easy. Let me do the legs real quick. Find my knee halfway somewhere. Let's find my knee, and my knee is going to be more of this gem shape like that. My knee is going to be a little higher because this leg is higher up. Going to the side. And the shape is like this. Triangle, roof on top, roof on the bottom. That way, when you do your muscles like this, I don't know the name of these muscles, it can ride off of that knee. Now this one is actually higher, but just ride it off of that knee as well. It just makes it a little easier. So it's going to come down over here. It's going to ride up, and it's going to go back out because there's a V here. So if you draw a V like that, you'll have that pretty much right. And then this other one's going to ride off here and then come out like that. Those are your leg muscles. You have the meat that comes, it's on the inside. It comes like this and then down and your calf, because that's your shin bone, like this, and that goes, this goes to your ankle. It comes around and it goes to your ankle. This one just kind of goes out and down like that. But just, if you have this shape, then it's easy to ride those muscles off of that knee. Remember, it's going to be thicker. That's why I said your legs are just oval. You don't have to draw the circle, but you can. And then just because it comes down to a point, stop spitting on your paper. Juicy mouth. And then it's going to come down narrow here. All right, how did that become 14 minutes? Let me do a quick one. No, anyway, yeah, it's a teaching. So, and then just bring your leg out here to the end of this. So let me do another one and flip it on the back. I want to do 2 together. So this is going to be a quick one, and this is why my videos are so long. Straight line. Let's just say here, coming out, going up, make your F, reverse F. Down. Here's my leg. Just enough room for the crotch. Here's this, and bring this over here. Cut here and cut here. This one's going to be higher. That one's going to be lower. Lower, higher. This coming up. So I can have right here, I can have my arm. And I'm going to show you a different arm position. So from this, let's do the foot. Let's do the foot. And you don't want to have it too wide because, you know, and too thick because you're going to put your muscles in there. So my foot is going to go here. My other foot coming down, remember, comes down. And out. It could be flat, or you can center it and then just have that kind of point that comes down. It makes it more look like a foot. Bring this in a little bit, not too much, not too far down, just a tiny bit. And then we're going to bring this up. Triangle, triangle. These are your shoulders. Another V right here, and that's going to be your neck. And then you put your head. I have him like looking over to the side here, like, yeah, I'm a bad boy. And say, what? And the neck is going to come back here. So we're going to have this, and this is turned, so you're not going to see that whole circle. So I can do something like this. Same position. You see this position with the arms down? I can do something like this. Same way. And see, this is just that's just that cone with a little twist to it. Put the fist here, like that. More dynamic. Now, once you get this down, you could actually put a little bit of a curve to it. Get that little anime kind of feel to it, that little curve. Make a little curve. And this is what I'm saying. Do this several times because, again, this is really short. So once you get it down, then you can be able to draw this shape pretty much the right length, or just kind of make them really thinner. If you like what you got and you say, okay, I'll just make them a little thinner and it should fit, especially the head. So let's just say that. Now I can do this. So there's so many different positions I can do with just this stand. I can kind of do, how would that go? Like this. And these are just, when you fold your arms, all these are just these cones coming into place. And then you have this, the bicep, and then you have the delts right there. So there's so many different positions you can do with just that one. And as I said, practice. Let me get rid of this other red so you can see the folded arms. I should have just did it in black. But just having that leg position, just as straight, like doing a reverse K, and then just switching the arms, you can have numerous positions. He could be reaching for his sword. How would he reach? Okay, this arm is going to go up. This one's going to kind of go back behind him. There's just so many different positions you can have. He could be holding a staff or whatever, spear. Just from this, let me get a thing, and I'm speeding it up now. I know I was going to go slow. Just from this, straight down, across. You don't want to make this too wide. Now, you don't want to make the top of that too wide, or you guys going to be deformed. And this reverse F, that leg, leaving room for the crotch here, and this one up there like that. This leg is going to be lower. This leg is going to be higher, and the center line. Your head, you put your shoulders on first, then do the V for the wideness of your neck, and then your head. I'm just like that. That is just a quick and simple way to do a cool pose for your character. Now, if I did it in reverse, you can do two people. Like if you got a team, you can do two, and like I said, you got multiple arm positions. You can actually do a third and a fourth, using a stand, and everybody can have a different arm position. So let me do this real quick. And it might not come out perfect because you still have to kind of get the body right. This is better because I didn't make this so long and this so long, so it's more narrow. So if I want to do the one, and this is cardstock, this is not bright white cardstock. When I bought it, I didn't really see that it wasn't really bright white. Okay, I'm doing it wrong. Okay, straight. I'm going to get a little curve on here. Straight over my F. I'd say maybe halfway down, halfway. Then in. Then this other leg, leaving room. Bring it up here. Curving it around. Here's my arm coming in, not on the outside. It's going to come in. This one's going to be there. This here. Depending on how big I want my shoulders, I can change it. I can change it and make it wider. And then my head. Same thing with the other side. Okay, so I have one guy here. Remember the crotch, wherever the crotch is, I'm going to lower that down. The crotch is your wrist. I'm going to bring it in. Like that. And then I'll do another guy, opposite side, over. He could be taller, he could be smaller. It could be a woman, because this is one of the ways I show to draw women using the K. I don't use this part, I just use the kind of the letter K. So here and here, here, here. Remember this. Remember, drop this down. Don't have this straight, because the legs are not flat on the ground. You have one higher and one lower, which means he's kind of like at an angle, or you're seeing him at an angle. So you have one here, coming around here. Here's my one leg. My other leg. You don't want that leg too far out now, because he's balancing on this leg. So this leg is just kind of like just there. It's going to be lower. Up is my triangle. This is my head. V. For my neck, put my head just right at the top of that point. He's going to be a little taller, which is cool. You don't want two people exactly the same. And then you have, let's just put this down here, this, because he's a bad boy. He's got his hand on his hip. Put it up a little higher, straight out more. And then his hand here, this arm right here. This leg, little room for the crotch. This leg I'm going to bring down a little bit more, or in a little bit more. I'm sorry you really can't see that. It's kind of light because of the paper. This is dark. So I'm going to bring that down a little bit more. That's the higher leg. No, this is the lower leg. That's what I was doing wrong. So the leg turned to the side is the lower, the shorter leg. The leg that's pointing more to you is going to be the higher leg. Whatever I just said. The leg turned to the side is the lower. The leg pointing to you is the higher. And you have to bring that in a little bit like that. So you have your team. You can do another one here with another hand position, another one there, or maybe one in the center that's straight up and down. And then the two going to the side. This guy could have been on this side. This guy could have been on that side, depending on how you want to balance it. So just by using those shapes, you have it. And again, turn right here. I'll turn it right from this point where it touches to somewhere down there, because that's where your chest is going to turn. And it's going to turn here, and then your abs. And then you kind of follow the rule for how I do with the three shapes. Bring this up a little bit. This one is flat, so you already have that, so that's good. You bring this down, and you just adjust that leg, and you bring that to that point. So if I did this is flat. I don't want it that high. This is flat like that. I'll just flatten that out too, and I know that's crooked. And so then I'll just bring this lat down to that point right there, and then just adjust the side of my legs. So that is it, quick and simple. And then once you get that, you go back and you define your muscles. Remember, three shapes: circle, circle, oval, and cone. Bring it to the point, bring it all the way down to the point, and then just cut it off where you want to put your wrist. So I don't like that hand on that hip. I want to, I don't know. Let's just change that a little bit. Remember not to make this shoulder too long. Bring this down a little bit. I'm rushing because it is crooked. So this is not going to be in the center. This is going to be over to the side, because you're seeing more this side than the left side. So this is going to be over the side. So I have to shift this guy all the way over, which is, I'm looking at it and I was like, what's wrong with this? All right, so come here. Delt here, arm here. I'm gonna put his hand up like that, just for the sake. And I might even change it when I use this for a thumbnail. So 26 minutes. I am going to find out how these guys make 10-minute videos. You can watch a video and these guys can go to dinner and drive their cars around and go see the family. And I don't know how they do that. They edit it and it's like 10 minutes. And I'm like, how do they do that? I can't do that. I can't do that. So I'm going to end this right here since you have got the shape. If you didn't quite get it, go back and look again. That's where I differ from a lot. I'll show you again and again and again. And all you have to do is go back and just look at it again. So simple, easy shape, easy way to make your character in a cool position. So that's going to be it for this video. I will see you guys in the next video. And if you have not subscribed, if you think that I'm worthy of your subscription, it doesn't cost you anything, it doesn't hurt, you won't get a bill at the end of the month, please subscribe. And if you liked it, give me a thumbs up. And I want to thank all those people that have been doing comments. I went on last night and I was reading my comments and I was answering some people. And there was a lot of people that I missed because other things go on in life and I can't really always get them like I used to. But I thank you for taking the time to comment. I do read them. It might be late, but I do read your comments. So again, thank you. And keep drawing. And remember what I always say. If you're not having fun doing it, it's not fun to do. All right. It's going to be a t-shirt one day. All right. I'll see you guys later in the next video. Keep drawing. Stay safe.